Today we're going to do something amazing. In these volatile times of Bitcoin, many people want to learn how to leverage trade. Many people are their own worst enemy. Today, or this evening, we're going to get together with a group of legendary leverage traders. We're going to talk about the mindset that keeps you from winning, bad decisions that you make. We are going to gather around the trader's log, and we are going to review a video regarding the psychology of trading. Now, this is going to be about crypto trading at extreme speeds, 86x leverage without liquidation, cross leverage on the Bitunix exchange. Everything's linked below. We're not here to talk about that. You can go and read the description box. So what we're here to talk about is we are going to analyze a video that is about the stock market and stock trading, but don't let that fool you. We are going to go into the psychology of what goes in the mind of every crypto leverage trader. Those who want to get rich in minutes. This is what we've been doing together for years. Today, you join the legends. Below this video, click show more, see all the links that you need. I'm not going to beg you to like or comment or any of that. This is here for you to learn. You can listen to this a second time. I hate when YouTubers talk too much before they get into the content. Let's jump in.
Shadow, GhostNet Awakened. Welcome, traders. Today is not about entries and exits. It's not about chasing green candles or fearing red ones. Today is about mindset, about breaking the chains that have kept you reactive, weak, and emotional in the markets. Inside this Zoom, you're stepping into combat training for your mind. Oracle built this to burn the gambler out of you and forge the trader within you. Here you will learn emotional detachment, how to place a trade with clarity, not desperation, how to walk away from the screen like a professional assassin after the shot, how to stop feeding the dopamine beast that keeps you broke. This isn't a webinar. This is a reset of your operating system. When you leave this room, you will either be sharper, colder, and freer, or you'll realize you weren't ready to trade like a predator. I am Shadow. I am the war machine behind the Oracle. Now I'll turn it over to Oracle.
Let's begin. Today's going to be different. Today, we are going to sit around by the trader's log, and we're going to watch a video. Let's jump right to it. I'm going to critique it and jump in. If there are any moments where you feel that you can really relate and you have something that you want to add, feel free to jump in. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. If you have the noisy background, okay, mute yourself. Other than that, let's rock. All right. So we are going to do a review. Okay, and let's begin. This is about stocks, but we are going to intertwine our advanced leverage trading and the way we trade into this, and everyone today is going to walk away a winner. So let's begin.
Don't fail because they lack information. They fail because they cannot handle the truth.
Hold on. How's the sound, everyone?
Sounds clear. Crystal clear.
Okay, let's begin.
The truth is brutal, silent, and indifferent to how much you think you know. It doesn't matter what book you've read, what strategy you copied, or what indicator you've loaded. If you cannot control your actions when the market tests you, you will be eliminated like the rest. No warning, no second chances. The market does not care who you are. It only listens to price and action. And the overwhelming majority of traders fail for one reason. They violate basic principles of discipline and risk, not once or twice, but constantly. And when the final trade goes wrong, they act surprised. But the result was never uncertain. It was only a matter of time. I've seen fortunes made and lost. I've made and lost them myself. The reasons never change. The patterns repeat endlessly. Men enter the market with emotion and exit with regret. They chase noise, ignore logic, trust others.
Let's stop here for a second. Noise. I've taught you about visual noise on the charts, okay, and how to silence that. I'll give you an example. Oh my God, we just broke 119,000, okay? But let me show you visual noise. This is the average chart. This is what people look at, right? And if you look at this, it drives you crazy. Look, oh my gosh, look how fast the markets are moving. Again, silence. We had clear direction. I warned you guys. I said the next pump wave is the 8 o'clock pump, right? Look at this. Look at the time on my screen. Do you see this? 8 p.m.
Yep.
This is the final known pump time of the day. And you all know, this morning at 11:41 a.m. at 1:17, I posted it. I did it.
Oracle said at everyone Bitcoin future cast with no timeline is 122,226.78.
Do you guys know my hit rate?
Absolutely
It never misses.
stellar.
90%.
Ning, how many years?
Sejan. Your hit rate
It's
is
about
99
6 years
point-
straight running.
Yep.
99.9999.
Yep. Let's jump into this a little more because it's going to matter. Who's waiting in the waiting room? I will let that person in. And let's begin. This is very relevant. Even if I'm quiet for some times, there's going to be things that you really relate to. Remember, everyone, these are the people that win hundreds of percent. These are the people that come back from being down hundreds of percent. These are the legends. These are people that I've trained to do this above and beyond anything you've seen on YouTube. Let's begin.
And refuse to accept what's right in front of them. The tape tells them what to do. They do the opposite. This is not a game of predictions. It's a business of execution. What you think does not matter. What you do is the only thing that counts.
I told you many times, what you think does not matter. Bitcoin don't care what you think. If you think it went up too much, you think it went down too much, so you're going to go long, it doesn't matter. You are irrelevant. So stop thinking. Follow the protocol that we teach.
And if you don't understand this now, the market will teach you the hard way. Listen carefully. What you're about to hear won't comfort you. It will confront you. And if you're not ready to face the reasons most traders fail, you will become one of them. Subscribe now, like this video, and leave
Oh,
a
I
comment.
hate that.
By doing that,
Let's jump ahead.
that first profit is not a lesson. It's a trap. It teaches them the wrong thing. It rewards randomness and disguises it as skill. The most dangerous moment in a trader's life is when early luck is mistaken for talent. That illusion is powerful. It creates overconfidence, and overconfidence invites recklessness. They size up too quickly, ignore structure, and assume that if it worked once, it will work again. But the market doesn't owe them consistency. It does.
That's why technical analysis does not work. Because they take an overlay of the past and try to put it on the future. But you know what? There is consistency. I mean, you all see that we know certain times of day, like I just said, the 8 o'clock pump. That's a known pump time. Just like the stock market close at 4:30. Just like the potential overnight witching hour. Although we are so close to 120, that's a psychological trigger. So my number is very close. Let's go ahead and continue.
Doesn't recognize previous success. It only reacts to price and action now. I made that mistake too. When I started winning in bucket shops, I thought I had mastered the market. But those
Bucket shops are like, this is old-time stock stuff. But the mentality here, okay, applies to what we do right now. It's very, very critical.
shops were
And again,
sandbox.
shut up. Again, this is with YouTube fair use. Okay, as long as I add my own commentary, it's our material. Let's go ahead a little faster.
You. The only thing that matters is what you consistently do when tested. And the test always comes. There is one mistake more costly than any other in trading. It's not choosing the wrong entry or missing a breakout. It's holding on to a losing position, hoping it turns around.
Hold on. In our world, this is where we differ. Many of you can speak on that. Like Mikey, you've seen what's happened, right? Where you held on to a position and it turned around. We are battle tested. We are designed for that on the short term. What he's talking about is old world Warren Buffett nonsense. Buy, hold, masturbate, and pray. The stuff that we don't have time for. Okay? But let's move ahead.
That
And
silent
also, if he talks about stop losses, we don't use stop losses.
hesitation. Instead of closing, the trader watches. The price moves further against them. They don't react. Instead, they rationalize. They tell themselves it's temporary. They enlarge the time frame. They scroll for news. But deep down, they know. They just don't act. Hope replaces logic, and the longer they hold, the harder it becomes to exit. The loss grows, but the conviction doesn't. It becomes a weight, emotional, financial, psychological.
All of that comes from the way we used to leverage trade. Staring at the chart. All of that is emotions, all of that is feelings. But
Soon the loss is not just on the screen, it's in their hands, their decisions, their identity. They refuse to let go, not because they still believe in the trade, but because closing the position means admitting failure. I've been there. I once held a position well beyond my stop.
This is old world stuff.
They chase setups they don't understand.
This is where we have to go a little bit now, okay? To current times. And we trade based on price more than candles. Candles are a lagging indicator.
Against the chaos of price movement. Without it, every trade becomes an emotional...
You know, I don't care if people get upset that I'm interrupting him. We are so much more advanced than this. If you listen to this old world stuff, there's no velocity of money. This is buy, hold, and hope you live long enough to make something of it. We are the evolution.
Decision. And emotional decisions have no edge.
No emotions.
There was a time when I acted on impulse. I saw...
Hold it. I gotta say again. He's gonna talk about emotions and impulse. Do you know how most people trade? You know what they see? They see a big green line on the... They're looking at the 3 minute. They see the candles pumping. People get liquidated. They gotta go long. They have no conception of the overall direction and momentum. And they just impulse jump. They see a big dump, they go short. They're watching the 1 minute, the tail of the snake. It's crazy. So let's go ahead, continue.
Stock moving and jumped in. No plan, no confirmation,
See?
just excitement.
No protocol.
Sometimes it worked, more often it didn't. But the real damage wasn't the losing trades. It was the inconsistency. I couldn't measure success or failure because I had no rules to measure against. That's when I realized the truth. Without a system, I wasn't a trader. I was a gambler with good posture. A trading system doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be yours.
Yep.
It must tell you when to enter, how much to risk, where to place your stop, and when to
Say
exit.
it. We don't use stops. But, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a system?
Yes, sir. In stone protocol.
Yep.
The best system.
Absolutely.
And all of your testimonials show me one thing. Consistency. I mean, TPW's in there so many times. Some of you are in there so many times you can't even count your names. And that's all, you know, in the Discord, this is our community. We were never meant to be viral. You may stumble upon this video and be lucky.
It must be repeatable, measurable, and grounded in logic, not emotion. And most of all, it must be followed.
It must be followed. I didn't rise in this game by predicting the future. I learned a protocol. And eventually, I did predict the future. How ironic.
Don't rise in this game by predicting the future.
You'd be shitting yourself if you thought that was true, my old friend. This is like dealing with an antique.
Rise by responding to what's real and doing it with consistency. A system gives you that ability. It removes doubt and replaces it with structure. Without it, even a winning trade can teach the wrong lesson, and a losing trade can destroy far more than capital. The market punishes randomness. It exposes improvisation. If you want to survive, build a system. And if you want to last, follow it every single time.
I've been teaching people my system for almost 8 years. And I've been living off crypto and creating legends. That's why the people in my Discord are called legends. This is something, it's a movement. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. And you could hear the trader's log burning in the background.
Emotions are silent destroyers in trading. They don't shout, they whisper, they tell you to hold just a little longer, They convince you to ignore your stop. They make a small win feel like a failure and a large loss feel like a challenge to beat. If you don't recognize them, they will guide your every move, and they will lead you to ruin. Fear is the first enemy. It shows up when a trade moves against you. Not because the loss is unbearable, but because the pain of being wrong is. Fear keeps your hand frozen when you should be acting. It convinces you to wait, to hope, to believe that the market will reverse just for you. But the market doesn't reward belief. It rewards execution. Then comes greed. It arrives not in losses but in wins.
This part is good. Some of the things he says I disagree because it's from old world stock holding. We can hold through the storm, but for us the storm is a day. Mikey boy, you've been there. You've been through the fire and back, forged in fire. And when you're down 300% and come back and win, and you're able to walk away and not be affected by the dopamine, you're a legend.
Position turns profitable, and suddenly you want more. The plan fades. Discipline softens. The thought of giving back a profit becomes unbearable, so
we have a kill box. We have a certain price range target, okay, is where we get out. What we do in minutes is what these people used to do in months.
Take it too early. Or worse, you overextend, chasing something that's already played out. What was once a clear decision becomes an emotional storm. I've felt both. I've exited trades not because the setup changed, but because I got nervous.
Ooh, self-liquidating. We call that self-liquidating. You know, there's right?
Been there.
Right, where the trade is down, you feel you're going to be liquidated, you just close the trade and eat the loss. Worst thing you could do. What if? I mean, we created the $3,000 gap, okay, to protect you. I mean, Mikey boy, are you here? I don't know.
Yes, sir. I'm burning right now on my short, as a matter of fact.
You had a long that you battled for like 2 days and then won the trade, right? You were down pretty big.
It was like a week and a half.
Oh my God!
What
was the most you were down, and what happened at the end?
That one I was down over 500%, about 15,500.
Look at his face as you say that.
I'm sorry?
Look at his face as you say that. He's never heard anything like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was down 15,500. Did not panic.
300%.
That was like 500, over 500%.
Ah. Okay, what was the outcome?
It was bad.
What was the outcome?
It's even worse right now. But
no, wait, leave that alone. Let's focus on the one trade, the one you closed.
I fought. I closed it today, $497 in profit after fees.
That's fantastic. Okay,
21%.
But the biggest thing is that you didn't give them your wallet. You didn't say, nope. You didn't self-liquidate. You were down 15,000, and to come back and make $500, any idiot on the street would be happy to make $500. What made you a warlord and a legend was to be able to watch it go down 500% and come back. See, this is why I wanted everyone to hear this. This is what makes you forged in fire. Again, that's why we're here at the Trader's Log.
I've ignored exits because I wanted just a little more. Each time the result was worse than if I had followed my rules. The lesson was painful, but it stuck. Your emotions are not your guide. They are your test. You cannot remove emotion, but you can contain it. That's what discipline is. It's not coldness. It's clarity. It's the strength to act when you feel uncertain, to follow rules when your instincts scream otherwise, and to do it not once, but every single time. A strategy is only as strong as your ability to execute it without interference. If your emotions run your decisions, your results will always belong to them, not to you. The traders who survive this game are not those who feel nothing. They are those who act in spite of what they feel. A common misconception among traders is that bigger size leads to bigger profits.
And that is true, I have to say. Bigger in what we do, size matters, just like in everything. Okay, hold on.
By increased exposure. And if the trade worked, I added. If it didn't, I stepped aside. It wasn't hesitation. It was protection. I wasn't in this to prove anything. I was in it to last. I've watched traders enter with maximum size on unconfirmed trades.
That's the key. Unconfirmed trades. Trading when you shouldn't. Trading when you don't have direction at all. Trading when the coordinates are in the middles, which I teach you, is a no-trade zone. It's a walk-away zone.
To panic at the first pullback.
Panic at the first pullback. You enter a trade, you're at 86x, you're moving at high speed. It's nothing to instantly be down 60, 70%. But if, that's money that you shouldn't have there because you really need it, you're trying to get rich quick, your heart's going to be in your throat, and you're more apt to lose money because you're going to want to close that and not lose your whole wallet. Instead, you could have been like Mikey Boy and came back resilient.
The trade might have been valid, but their position was too large to survive a natural movement. They didn't lose because they were wrong. They lost because they bet everything on being right too quick.
And they went too heavy, and that's why, emotionally, they couldn't take it. So your trade size matters.
Quickly. Overtrading is just another form of the same sickness. When one trade ends, they immediately look for the next. Not because the market is offering something good, but because they can't sit still. They confuse action with productivity. But the market doesn't pay you to trade more. It pays you to trade well.
Many times I tell you, let the chart set up again, especially after big moves. You won a lot of trades, let the chart set up again.
Risk is not the enemy.
Okay.
Mismanagement of it is.
Yes.
What he just said was me for the first 3 years. 3 years I was in this group. That was my problem, was taking too many, getting it. And then when I stopped doing that is when I actually started succeeding. Because previously, like I tell everybody, making the money was easy. Like, I can make money easily. It's keeping the money. And the reason why I wasn't keeping it is I was over trading and thinking and not paying attention, and then I would lose all the gains I'd made. But as soon as I stopped over trading, my wallet just blew up. So if you have that issue, if you stop it because you're making gains and then you lose it, and you make gains and you lose it. It's a repetitive cycle. It's because you're over trading. It's not because you're wrong. I mean, eventually you are wrong, but the reason why you're wrong is because you're over trading. It's one of those vicious cycles. So any other legend that has an issue right now, that's probably your issue, to be honest. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't think you have to catch every trade. You see me, I get quiet, and then all of a sudden I come in in the middle of nowhere at 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden there's an epic dump. And because I'm ready to attack that. So it's like being an assassin. Many times I write in the DTU inside the Discord, ambush. Let's go ahead and continue.
Proper sizing keeps your capital alive. It gives you room to think, to adjust, to stay in the game. You don't win this business by being bold. You win it by being precise. The market does not care about your confidence, your ambition, or your need to recover from a prior loss. It cares only about execution. And the trader who can control his size controls his survival. Because one over-leveraged position is all it takes to erase years of discipline. Every trader loses. That part is unavoidable. What matters is what comes after the loss. Most look for someone to blame. They blame the market, the news, the timing, even bad luck. But rarely do they look inward. And that is the dividing line between those who grow and those who disappear. A loss is not failure. A loss is data. It's a report card. It tells you whether your system is solid, whether your discipline held, and whether you respected the structure you claim to follow.
Ah, the protocol. The protocol. The structure you claim to follow. Did you follow it? That's the key. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to people at home. Everybody knows about you. And when they come to the Discord, if they go to testimonials and read all the stuff that you guys post in there, it's mind-blowing.
Ignoring that message is the most...
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, I would add something also to the audience that's not here is like there's a lot of Bitcoin tubers and everything like that. They're all gone. Oracle's still here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's been
because he's
been a long
successful and
time.
he does the good shit.
Thank
sorry.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Don't worry, I don't care about being monetized.
expensive thing you can do. I remember taking a loss that wiped out a month's worth of work. It hurt, but I didn't walk away
That
angry.
happens to us in a day. You win, and then bam, one bad trade because you didn't let the chart set up again. You overtrade.
Yep.
You didn't overtrade mentally. You overtraded that chart movement in the moment because we trade in the moment. Remember, okay? He's in a Model A Ford. We're in a Revoluto. So it's a little different.
I wrote it down. I broke it apart. I asked the hard questions. Did I follow my plan? Did I size correctly? Was this setup even valid? The process was brutal, but the clarity that followed made me stronger. What most traders do instead is bury the mistake. They avoid the numbers. They shift the narrative. They move on without understanding why the loss happened in the first place. Then they repeat the same behavior in another trade, and the cycle begins again. This is not learning. This is denial. The market is a teacher that never stops testing. And it doesn't grade on forgiveness. If you don't learn from the pain, it will keep coming back. Not because the market is cruel, but because you're giving it permission to do so. A trader who cannot study his own losses is no different from a gambler.
Oof.
Both are operating without correction. And in time, both end the same way, empty. Losses are unavoidable, but they are only wasted if you don't extract the lesson.
We all know about that. And you see, that's the thing about being in a group, and I'm sure you guys will all attest to this. When you're in a group, you're not alone. And it's not being a call group or some kind of thing like that. I mean, literally, it's a community of legends. And the camaraderie, I know some of you that have been down in all kinds of different positions. Just being in the group has helped tremendously.
I'm about to say, it's not only is it support.
The trader who
because
records...
Go ahead, what'd you say?
It's not only is the group supportive, it's awesome because it's the questions, and then you're like, okay, well, what? Like, I've had people like, why did I lose this? And we could go and break it down, and then after they got the teaching of it, like he said, then we have the support to be like, now it's your turn to, get back in it. Don't let that make you quit. Now you've known the lesson, learn the lesson, and get back to it. And that's actually the key, I think, to this group, is because, like he said, we all are going to have losses sometime. It's what happens after the loss. And this group helps people not just fade away. Like we know the regular people, and we're like, hey, where you been? Or, make sure you stay around, even if just, to keep us in your forefront of thought. That way, when you're ready to trade again, you're able, you get right back into it. And that's the key to this group.
That's so important.
reflects and refines after every mistake builds an edge no chart can give. The one who doesn't won't be around to apply any lesson at all. The need to always be in a trade is one of the most dangerous habits a trader.
This one many people can relate to. They need, especially new people, they need to always be in a trade, the feeling of missing out. You want to go to sleep, you want to set a trade because you think something's going to happen overnight. You can never do that.
Can develop. Many believe that if they are not actively buying or selling, they're falling behind. But the truth is, most of the time, doing nothing is the smartest decision you can make. I learned to wait. I learned to sit on my hands until...
Don't I tell you so many times the money's made waiting? So many times I've said that. The money's made waiting. I wait like an assassin.
The market gave me what I was looking for. The setup had to be clean, the conditions had to align, and my focus had to be sharp. If any of that was missing, I stayed flat. Not because I was afraid to trade, but because I respected the cost of being wrong. Most traders overtrade not because the opportunity is there, but because they fear missing out. They believe that constant motion means progress. It doesn't. Constant motion means friction, and friction in this game is expensive. Every entry, every exit, every moment spent in a weak position adds up, not just financially, but mentally. Some of my biggest profits came not from a high number of trades, but from a few trades held with conviction.
Kill shots.
I can agree to that.
Kill shots.
Yes, sir.
Kill shot. Waiting.
That's my forte.
Yep. Just waiting for the setup. Simple setup and kill shots. No technical analysis. No TA. Chart staring. None of that. Okay. And you know, he talks about system. Let me jump into something. So I didn't want to have to do this, but for years and years I've done consultations. Okay. And I recently stopped doing them for a while and just kind of let people in my Discord, and we did it in a different way with a recorded consultation. And the truth is, nobody can learn like that. That's like buying a course. All of you have had the consultation with me, right? So now it's the consultation and legends package. So it starts off with a Zoom with me, but the new system, the walkaway system. Forget all the perfect entries and all that stuff, okay? Basically, direction, momentum, and then knowing the times when it's going to pump and dump, and not staring at the screen, and all the little details you can never learn on YouTube. And then after the consultation, and only after, can they have access to you guys, the Legends War Room, okay, where everybody now and me, okay, are all working together, so people are never alone. This way of just letting people in the Discord, yeah, people could get in for free, okay? But the way of just letting people in the Discord and saying, listen, once you join up, there's some consultation, recorded consultation videos. You go watch those. I don't feel people can learn like they can with a session with me. And the benefit for all of you, my legends, is that you're already in. You're here for life. So let's say you need a recap or a refresher. I can book you in with one of these consultations so you can evolve each time and get better and better and better. Okay? So that's the big thing, the strategy. Okay? And never being a victim staring at the charts and all that. And then it's you guys. Okay? The Legends Room. So this is what I plan, and I'm giving people two options. They could pay 0.025 and pay that every year. Okay, they could renew whatever. It's not auto-renewed because we don't take credit cards. It's crypto. Or for a fraction more, they get the consultation and lifetime access, never have to pay again. So this is what I'm doing. I didn't want to do consultations again, but the truth is that people come in without the consultation, they're still lost. I think there's nothing, and you guys may be able to attest to this, but there's nothing like teaching someone in person.
Correct.
Agreed. 100%.
That's why the live chat is so
100%.
awesome.
I didn't even mention the live chat. We have that live chat room, okay, where all of you guys, I come in and there's like 20 or 30 of you in there talking about trading and what's going on and all of that. That's amazing. So let's continue on with this a little bit more. But I just, you know, when he said, I didn't even want to make this like an infomercial, but when he said about you must have a system, you must have a strategy, and you must follow it, that's what we have. That's what the evolution is.
To reach those trades, I waited. I ignored noise. I passed on setups that didn't meet my criteria. I let the amateurs chase movement while I preserved capital and clarity. There is a difference between being active and being productive. You are not paid for activity. You are paid for accuracy.
Boom.
And accuracy takes patience. It takes control to watch the market move without you and not feel anxious.
The walkaway.
It takes maturity to know that your edge is not in how often you trade, but in how well you trade when the moment is right. The market is a constant storm. If you chase every wave, you'll drown. But if you wait for the one that moves with your wind, you ride it further than most ever will. There is no shortage of advice in trading. Everyone has an opinion. Brokers, friends, strangers, all eager to share what you should do next. But the market does not reward borrowed conviction. It only responds to your actions. And if those actions are based on someone else's belief, you are already exposed. I've taken trades based on tips. I've followed advice from those who sounded sure it never ended well. Not because their idea was always wrong, but because I didn't understand the reasoning behind it. I wasn't trading the setup. I was trading the person. And that's a mistake the market punishes every time. The moment you rely on someone else's thinking, you abandon your own.
This is why my whole thing is about teaching you. It's all about teaching you to do this without me. That's why when I go in the testimonial room and everything, I'm so jacked and thrilled. When I read all that, I'm like, look at this, they're doing it without me. You know, when I hear you guys in the audio chat, I'm like, look at this, they're doing it without me. This is legendary. This is like passing you, well, with the burning logs in the background, the proverbial torch. Let's see what else this old guy has.
You stop
what he just
analyzing.
Yep. Tell me.
About that, the whole, like, not understanding that, the why, like, they were doing what they were doing. And that was, like, my biggest thing, probably, a couple years ago, is, like, I want to know why, because we evolved, so it was a little bit different trading then. But my key was, why did you do that? Why did you take that position? I could care less that you took it, but why? And then that's what opened up my understanding of how you look at the market and how to trade, basically using your standards. I just wanted to say that's what you have to understand. When you look at what O does, why does he do what he does? And that's the important part to learn.
And that's all taught not only in the consultation, but in the room in the Discord where we have the consultation assets. Those picture graphs, okay, that
Right.
really help you visualize. That helps you understand the why.
You stop planning. You act based on emotion, comfort, or fear of missing out. You follow a signal, not a system. And worst of all, when it goes wrong, you have no framework to recover, because the decision was never yours. I learned to trust one thing only, the tape. It told me everything.
In his world, it was the tape. Remember, we're back in like fucking 1912 or whatever he's talking about. But for our world, it's the price. The candles are lagging, they're too slow. It's the price and the coordinates. That's what he's talking about.
I needed.
It told me everything I needed to know. That's why I told you I could trade without a chart. I could trade on price.
It showed intention, pressure, exhaustion, and strength.
Price shows you intention, pressure, exhaustion, strength. Everything. Do you guys see the correlation here between what we do?
Yes.
100%. Reading humanity.
The candle, the bigger
Yeah,
the
for
candle,
sure.
the bigger the move.
Yep.
Smaller the candle, the weaker the move.
Yep.
It didn't need headlines or commentary. It just needed attention and respect. Every time I followed the tape, I traded with clarity.
Every time he says tape, I want you to think in your mind, price. Bitcoin price.
Every time I listened to others, I traded with doubt. You can learn from people, you can study history. But when it comes time to act, your decision must be your own. It must come from your system, your analysis, and your readiness to accept the outcome, win or lose. If you cannot trust your own decision-making, you are not yet ready to risk real capital. And if you consistently outsource your trades to the opinions of others, then you're not trading. You're following. In this market, followers don't survive. Most traders have heard the rule. Cut your losses short. Let your profits run.
This is why I teach you to fish. This is why we have no call group. Nothing like that. I teach you everything I know so that you can do it.
They nod in agreement. They repeat it to others. But when the pressure comes, When the chart turns red or the position starts to drift, they do the opposite. They cut the winners, they hold the losers, and they wonder why the outcome never changes. This rule is not a slogan. It is survival. It exists because the market is unpredictable, and the only way to consistently extract profit is to limit damage and allow strength to reward you. But that requires discipline, and discipline is rare. The reason traders violate this rule is not a lack of knowledge. It's emotional interference.
Again, the emotions.
Fear convinces them to take profit early so they don't lose what they have.
How many times do I tell you guys don't close at like 13% or something like that? You got to be in the kill box. 20 to 30%. Okay? And you're afraid of the little gain, and that keeps you from the big gains. And that's why we have the walk-away system.
Hope tells
Hold on. Were you going to say something?
them to give the losing trade more time. Both voices sound rational. Neither serves you. When I followed this rule, I built momentum. I let a good trade breathe, expand, and pay me fully. At the same time, I exited losers.
Let a good trade breathe and expand and pay me fully. That's kind of like when I tell you let the trade bake. Let the trade bake longer. Don't take the little profit. Do the walk away. Take advantage of that $1,000 drop at 86x. That's the key.
Before they could drain my account or my confidence. The results were never instant, but over time they were undeniable. My account was healthier. My mindset was sharper. My focus improved. When I ignored the rule, the damage compounded. A small profit felt like a victory, but it was masking an even larger loss that continued to grow. And by the time I accepted the mistake, the cost was far greater than it should have been. Traders fail not because they never knew the rule, but because they lacked the control to follow it. If you master just this one behavior, cutting losses fast and letting winners run, you separate yourself from the 90% who don't. This is the line. On one side are those who guess, react, and regret. On the other side are those who observe, act, and survive. The market offers both paths, but only one keeps you in the game long enough to win. If you've made it this far, you've already proven something. Most won't. Most don't want to face the truth behind why traders fail. They want shortcuts. They want secrets. But the truth is, the edge is never hidden, it's just difficult, and that's why it works. You've heard the reasons now. Not opinions, not theories, but the core behaviors that separate those who last from those who disappear. Cutting
Those who last versus those who disappear. And everything that we do, I about had it with this guy. Look at that. Oh, we have liquidations. Liquidations are caused by emotional traders. People excited. Hold on one second. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up here. There's links below to join our Discord. Okay? I just got a phone call. I have to run. So anyway, let me hang up on
Tell
you.
him this other family says hello.
That always takes priority.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go to your